What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another really important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update is, again, the end of day Ortex short interest and utilization numbers to give us a better understanding of where we are at going into tomorrow. Now, the two main things that we're going to be covering in this update, the first is something that I have seen circulating around the internet and spreading like wildfire over this past weekend. And it is something that we really need to talk about and clear up because there is some wild misinformation being spread about this situation, and it has to do with Bank of America and a lot of these other companies potentially naked shorting or having very sizable short positions against AMC at the current time. And it all comes down to how short interest is reported and how these different reporting sites kind of mess with the data that they are receiving to make it look like these institutions are shorting when in actuality they are not. Now, in addition to this, we are going to go over some of the reasons why AMC had such a red day today. Again, we talk about the broad market and how it could affect AMC a lot on this channel, and we saw a lot of that happen today. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So AMC closed the trading day at $36.77, and in the after hours, we're down a cent right now. We're not really seeing any type of move. Now, when we come over to Ortex, utilization at 85.23%. We have current estimated short interest at 20.24%. Short interest a little bit down today. Now remember, 2 days ago, we were seeing some more volatility on AMC, and it was possible that more shares were getting covered and returned during that period. But again, not even close to enough to trigger the big short squeeze that we are all looking for. Now let's get into some of this Bank of America situation. So we covered the relationship with Citadel in yesterday evening's wrap-up video, and there's some other things that I really want to talk about. So when we come over to this institutional investor shorting AMC part on MarketBeat, we have a screenshot right here. We can see Simplex, Susquehanna, Citadel, 683, Anchorage. Then we see Bank of America down here. Now, this list has been circulated around many different times before, and the way that they're representing this data is kind of inaccurate. So they say shares shorted current, and it lists the amount of shares, but these institutions aren't actually short this amount of shares. Then you can see their position size over here, but in the fine print up here, this table shows institutional investors, funds, and major shareholders that have reported short positions as of their most recent reporting period. Most commonly, these investors have purchased put options on shares of AMC Entertainment. Puts, buying puts is not the same as shorting the stock. When you buy and sell put options or any options, it should not affect the actual underlying price of the stock unless the trade is massive and those contracts are going from out of the money to in the money in a rapid succession, and those market makers have to hedge. Now, the way that we can kind of prove this, and we're going to go through this a little bit more tomorrow, but everybody is really focused on Bank of America right here. So we can see that their position size, I'm guessing that this is in thousands, 58,766,000. So then when we come over here, so shout out to Rogue. I don't have a Fintel Premium membership right now, but we can see that Bank of America right here put and their current value, it's the exact same, 58,766. Then when we come over to Fintel right here, we can see that Bank of America has puts, calls, and shares. So then we think about, well, if Bank of America in this screenshot right here was actually correct and they were short this amount of shares that we see right here, about 1,036,800, then we would have to see some sort of net position somewhere. And when we look at the amount of shares here, it's not even close to really the amount that we would see in terms of the current short interest that we are seeing as reported by Ortex right now. Simplex, what they say here is that they have a share shorted amount of 14.2 million. Most likely these are puts as well. And again, we have to make this clear. Options give you the right, if you are buying, not the obligation to perform a certain action. If you buy a put, it gives you the right to sell at a specific price on or before an expiration expiration date. It is just a contract. You are not actually going out and shorting. Now, in addition to this, we also have to talk about how short interest is actually reported and why this would also not make any sense that we would be seeing these institutions short interest on this page right here. When we come over to this FAQ section on the SEC's website surrounding 13Fs, what about short positions? You should not include short positions on Form 13F. You also should not subtract your short positions in a security from your long positions in that same security. Report only the long position. So what we are seeing here is that across the board with 13Fs, where all of these different reporting sites, MarketBeat, Fintel, are getting their data from, you are not going to see short interest. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, that chart is really not accurate, and we are never ever going to get the full picture in terms of the current outstanding short interest for AMC or really any other stock with the way our reporting instructions are set up at the current time. The best thing that we have really is the exchange reported short interest data. Now, let's get into this situation surrounding why AMC had such a red day today. Now, we've been talking about a lot of these broad market conditions. We have inflation way higher than expected. We had the potential government shutdown. We had Evergrande 2 weeks ago, and now we are seeing these debt ceiling headlines start to come through, and they are really messing with the way our market works right now. We even had Fitch issue a downgrade warning saying if this situation continues to go on the path that it's on, it is highly possible that they are going to issue a downgrade to the United States credit rating and take away that AAA rating. That is not good, and we would see a significant decrease in the markets. But what you have to think about is they're really just playing a big game right now. When we come over to this tweet, Biden says in the days ahead, people may see the retirement account values sink and interest rates go up. And that's mainly due to all of this debt ceiling news and headlines just getting circulated around. The most likely outcome here is that they are going to wait till the last minute on October 18th or on October 17th when this funding will really run out, and then they are going to push something through and kick this debt ceiling can down the road. But we've seen this from Jamie Dimon over at JP Morgan saying that they are preparing for the United States in the off chance that they do default and what would happen with the markets. And it is costing them a lot of money to do this. So there are a lot of institutions that are really not happy with the way our market is being run right now. So we have this debt ceiling situation looming, and we should be really seeing this wrap up over the next 2 weeks. And we are really going to see the market pick a direction. If they kick the can down the road with the debt ceiling, which they most likely will, when you look at historical times, in times in the past that we have seen this debt ceiling situation pop up, that is most likely what's going to happen. But in the off chance that it doesn't, and the United States does default for the first time in history, we are going to see some pretty wild things happen in our markets. Now, we also have some more of this Evergrande news circulating around again. So creditors said Evergrande on the hook for $260 million jumbo fortune note due October 3rd, and they have a 5-day grace period this time versus the 30-day grace period for payment until default. Now, Evergrande trading did get halted yesterday, so this situation is still looming. It could potentially have some global effects if China is not going to be able to contain this. But again, we have to wait for all of these situations to really play out. And we are at the mercy of a lot of these headlines that have been coming out. And we're going to see more volatility going forward. But again, remember, these situations that are happening in the global economy right now have nothing to do with AMC. The thing you need to keep in mind is that the whole movie theater industry this past weekend had a pandemic record-breaking weekend. It was absolutely amazing, and there are more movies coming out over the next couple of weeks that a lot of these different analysts and the individuals who are predicting the box office numbers are expecting to be record-breaking as well. And when we come over here, we can see that Cinemark, another company in the movie theater industry, was up 5.72% today, with AMC over here down about 4.39%. We know we are dealing with a manipulated stock. We know that there is a lot of current outstanding short interest, and that a lot of these institutions who are short AMC are willing to do whatever it takes to keep the share price down. But I don't think they have any really good chance of winning at this point because of all of the research that we have done over the last 9 months and how strong our community has become. So that is mainly going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.